Israel has been in the news so much over these past few weeks and months for quite a few amazing things. But here in Chicago, we are very excited because there is a nonstop flight between Chicago and Israel that just launched, and so much going on. And here to talk about it is my very good friend, Daniel Aschheim, who is the newly arrived Counsel for Public Diplomacy at the Consulate General of Israel to the Midwest. Daniel, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Shalom. Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Good evening. It's great to have you. And I have to say, my friend, you recently arrived as from your former role as the Deputy Chief of Mission at the Israeli Embassy in Senegal, and you arrived to this cold weather in Chicago. So I have to start by asking, how are you enjoying Chicago so far?
First of all, Chicago is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, I think, and I don't think I'm exaggerating. It's not my first time in Chicago, and it's not because I'm comparing my recent city with Senegal, Dakar, where I lived. I really think objectively it's one of the best gems, kept secret gems around the world, and my job is to make it not a secret anymore, and therefore, as you said, I hope that the direct line of United Airlines and hopefully El Al will also resume its vision of the direct line, will bring more and more Israeli tourists to see this beautiful city in the Midwest.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk some more about some of the amazing things that are happening. But Daniel, I want to start by talking about you and your arrival here in Chicago. As I mentioned, you came from Senegal. You have arrived in Chicago. I know you have a beautiful family, and you're settling in to work with an amazing team. But is there anything that you want to tell our listeners a little bit about your experiences and how you hope to bring some of those skills and experiences to the entire Midwest in your role as a diplomat representing the State of Israel?
Thank you, Shalom, for raising it. Yes, indeed, it's correct. A month and a half ago, I had the privilege to come with my wife, baby, and dog, which we also adopted in Senegal. After 2 years of being the deputy ambassador to Senegal and 4 other countries in sub-Saharan West Africa, which is a unique, dynamic experience with many challenges, but I think a lot of potential to continue to strengthen Israeli relations with Africa. So many people don't know what Israel is doing in a place like Africa. And I personally had the privilege to work on various projects, whether it's building the ecosystem for innovation in Senegal and helping it become the startup nation of Africa, using the Israeli model for innovation, whether it's bringing Israeli culture together with Senegalese culture, whether it's humanitarian projects of Mashav, Israel's development agency, helping people in the fields of agriculture, women empowerment, business, creating businesses, small businesses of crop development, export, import, and many things in order to make Africa great again. So we are there as Israel is their ally of not only Senegal, but for me, what was interesting is coming to a country which is French-speaking. I didn't speak a word of French, and I came out of there feeling like I have very close friends there who I speak to, even though you don't always have the language, the verbal language, official language, you feel like you talk to people, and they understand you and you understand them, and I think that's the wonderful thing about being a diplomat, building bridges between people, and I hope to bring that here as well.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad you used those words, building bridges, because I talk about that pretty much every single day of my life, but certainly on this program, we talk a lot about bridge building, and there is some amazing bridge building that is taking place just in the world. Israel has now signed historic peace deals with the United Arab Emirates, with Bahrain, some fascinating developments. And so you come into Chicago riding the coattails of that amazing news. So what sort of bridge building do you hope to see here in some of your conversations? And I know, of course, that you are coming here in the early days. We're hoping it won't be very long until you can be out and about, involved in running programs. But right now you're doing it virtually. What sort of bridge building do you hope to see here in the Midwest in general?
So as for what is happening in the Middle East, I think that, as you said, what we are seeing in recent weeks with the signing of the peace treaty with the UAE and Bahrain, today they signed the various bilateral agreements in Manama, a historical El Al flight, again, another history-making, landed in the capital of Bahrain with a big delegation. It's truly remarkable and history-making. So I hope this will lead to peace in the entire Middle East between Israel and its immediate and distant neighbors. This regarding what's happening in the Middle East. As to bridges here, first of all, for me, I'm going to talk first with our Jewish friends. I know we have a lot of listeners, the Jewish communities of the Midwest. And for me, building bridges with you, it's okay, it's legitimate to have disagreements at times and see certain things from different perspectives. However, the one thing I'm asking in order to continue to build this great bridge between us and the Jewish communities, regardless whether you are liberal or conservative, Republican or Democrat, Reform, conservative, Orthodox, Reconstructionist, or any other affiliation, be involved. Don't be indifferent. Care about Israel. Visit Israel. Connect with Israelis. Argue, love, support. In the end, we are all one large mishpucha, one big family. So Israel will always be there for you. It is and will always be one of the only Jewish states. It will be the only Jewish state for all Jews around the world. So this is for the Jewish friends that are listening to this program and to the others in the Midwest, smaller or larger communities. We are one family.
It's a beautiful message. That's a beautiful, beautiful message. And Daniel, touching on, I know where you're heading. In your capacity as the Council for Public Diplomacy, you're involved in so many different areas, including culture, academics, inter-community relations, and diplomatic relations. That's a wide portfolio. So, if you don't mind, touch on some of the areas that have already been accomplished prior to your arrival, and where you are hoping to dedicate your efforts and energies.
So the consul general here has been active in many fields, not only in Illinois and Chicago, but with all the 9 states that we are working with on a daily basis. So also now in COVID, regardless whether we can get there physically or not, we are organizing Zooms in order to bring the community together. We are active in the International Film Festival in Chicago, in the Israeli Film Festival. So regarding cultural ties, we are involved in many different things, whether connected to music, theater or literature, all of these innovation fields. In the economic field, we are working with the Chamber of Commerce from the various states. We are working in order to bring Israel and bring Israeli companies into the Midwest, bring Midwestern companies into Israel. We helped making this line, the direct line of United Airlines come into place. We are connecting between the state legislators and Israel. In the academic field, we are working with our friends in campuses, with staff and faculty, first to bring Israel into the campus, to see the diversity of what Israel brings on the one hand, and then also there to fight BDS and those who are against Israel and against pluralism in campus. So we don't have a problem with criticism. We do have a problem with anti-Semitism and BDS. So we are working in various fields, and for me, a true priority will be connecting people to the real Israel, the diverse Israel, the pluralistic Israel, the exciting Israel, the innovative and creative Israel. And there are many, many, many different things that we can do together, whether it's in culture, economic projects, academic cooperation, to bring a stronger bridge between Israel and the Midwest.
Absolutely. I'm chatting with Daniel Aschheim, who is the newly arrived Council for Public Diplomacy, the Israeli consulate in the Midwest. And Daniel, perfect segue as we wrap up our time together. Certainly that flight, that United flight, and hopefully very soon an El Al flight, will help to transport our listeners to visit Israel. But there are many ways to engage and be involved right now. Daniel, can you please share the website and where people can learn more about the work of the consulate?
So first of all, I recommend through the Facebook page, the Instagram page we still don't have, but we have a very active Twitter page. We have an active LinkedIn page, whether it's us, the diplomats there, or Consul General Aviv Ezra, or the official page, which is called Israel in Chicago. So the best you can follow is Israel in Chicago, either Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn. You'll find all the information, which is updated daily. Come, engage with us, share with us, talk to us. We are there. Me personally, I'll be happy to talk to you through my network, Daniel Aschheim, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook.
Okay, fantastic. Daniel, we're going to have to leave it there, but I appreciate you coming on Get Down to Business, and I encourage our listeners to engage, be involved. Israel in Chicago, the Consulate General of Israel to the Midwest. We'll be right back.